Welcome back. Joining us now virtually is one of our legal experts, attorney Alex Stanford. Alex, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, Taylor. Great to be back after our little break.
I know it is good to have you back. So recently, a lot of the recounts that have been happening in many states, those have concluded. So from a legal standpoint, what does this all mean?
Well, it's a lot. It means a whole lot. I know the media is really bombarding us with this message that the election's over. You know, they called it for Biden the next day, and it looks like Trump is just a sore loser and he's not conceding. You know, why hasn't he conceded? There are multiple avenues of remedies that Trump is seeking, and so I kind of want to lay those out for the viewers because you're not really going to get a good sense of that from what the headlines are reporting. So you've got a lot of lawsuits that have been filed. You have lawsuits that were filed to stop certification. You have lawsuits that were filed to stop vote counts. You also have lawsuits that were filed alleging fraud. And you have lawsuits that were filed by Trump's campaign team. And you also have lawsuits that were filed by private citizens, private actors. You have the Kraken, that was the big headline. That was Sidney Powell's lawsuit. That's actually independent of Trump teams, and that's probably the wildest lawsuit that I've seen. It's essentially a global conspiracy lawsuit. It's pretty crazy stuff. I haven't gone all the way through it. It's hefty, and I'm pretty busy. And then you have the state legislative remedies, which no one really even talks about. So you have in Arizona and Pennsylvania, you have hearings going on at the legislative level where Giuliani and people are presenting evidence directly to the legislative bodies about violations of the mail-in ballot rules, certification rules, signature matching, proper validation of the ballots, and then you have fraud allegations. And so you have two prongs of attack that are going on. So you have the courts, which have kicked a lot of lawsuits back because you have issues of timeliness, you have issues of standing, and standing just means that, you know, you're not the person entitled to ask for the remedy, so the court says we're not even going to listen to it. So while it looks like Trump is losing them on the merits, really most of them are procedural losses, and the ones that he's filed, the only ones that he's lost, I believe, were due to a timeliness or a moot issue. And a moot issue is one where when you ask the court for something and it's already happened and they can't stop it, they say, well, there's no point adjudicating it because it is moot. So the lawsuit they filed, I believe, in Pennsylvania to delay a certification or to keep ballots separated, well, once they had already been counted, it's too late. So that one lost. But on the legislative level, what's really interesting to watch is that if the legislators can be convinced that there has been enough shenanigans or deviations from the norms, then they can have what's called faithless electors, where they don't send electors pursuant to the certified election results. So if they think that there is enough reason to doubt the certified result, then they can send electors to vote for, you know, whoever they want. They can vote for me if they wanted. Yeah. So you know, there are still paths to victory for Trump. That's why he's still fighting. And there are some very interesting questions that have not been answered. That's why they're still fighting. It's not as simple as just it's over, Biden has won, and Trump is just stalling out for whatever. There's actually a lot of really interesting stuff there. And it's pretty heavy trekking. So I'm trying to give an update.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's confusing for a lot of people out there. Alex, as always, thank you so much for coming on to chat about legal questions and whatnot.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. And guys, don't go anywhere. Before we go to break, we got to check in with meteorologist Corey Smith.